Hi everybody, Kevan Boyles here again with another installment of Transforming Your Future. Today we're going to discuss another one of my lifetime laws, that is, set aside time each week to focus on the big rocks. And I have to thank Steve Covey and his bestseller, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, for sharing a story. One day an expert was speaking to a group of business students and he said, "Okay, time for a quiz." Then he pulled out a 1-gallon wide-mouth mason jar and set it on a table in front of him. Then he produced about a dozen fist-sized rocks and carefully placed them, one at a time, into the jar. When the jar was filled to the top and no more rocks would fit inside, he asked, "Is this jar full?" Everyone in the class said yes. Then he said, "Oh, really?" He reached under the table and pulled out a bucket of gravel. Then he dumped some of the gravel in and shook the jar, causing pieces of gravel to work themselves down into the spaces between the big rocks. Then he smiled and asked, "Is the jar full?" By this time the class was on to him. "Probably not," one of them said. "Good," he replied. Then he reached under the table and brought out a bucket of sand. He started dumping the sand in, and it went into all the spaces left between the rocks and the gravel. Once more he asked the question, "Is the jar full?" "No," the class shouted. Once again he said, "Good." Then he grabbed a pitcher of water and began to pour it into the jar until it was filled to the brim. Then he looked up at the class and asked, "What's the point of this?" Someone said, "The point is, no matter how full your schedule is, if you try really, really hard, you can always fit something more into it." "No," the speaker replied, "that's not the point. The truth this illustration teaches us is, if you don't put the big rocks in first, you'll never get them in at all." I've found that if you address the big rocks once a week, you'll see significant results each year. I do it every Monday morning when I have a self-management meeting. It usually lasts several hours when I hibernate in my office, hopefully uninterrupted. This allows me to focus on my big rocks, and I find I make small but regular progress towards reaching my goals and visions, which turns into exponential progress as time goes on. So what are the big rocks in your life? And isn't it time you started to focus on them? Until next time, thanks for watching.